All right, well, we're live, Dave. Dave again. We're here with what episode 6, 7? We're getting on it.
I think this is six.
6. Yeah, that's right. So it's we're doing it remote. We're trying something new, um, and it's really more of a. it just, you just saw my wife run by. Um, we're trying something new, so you got to bear with us for those of you that are watching today. But I'm here with Dave Vesser, author of DC Vessers, or books by DC Vesser, also the author of dcvesser.blogspot.com. And if you haven't seen his pages lately, get out there, take a look. He's got some books as well, some very interesting books, and I'll let Dave talk about a few of those things. But Dave, what do we like to talk about today?
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about some blogs that I'm doing recently here. Um, I'm, as everybody, I think they just about all know by now that I'm working on a book called Political Corruption, and
Right.
it's the other PC. But during my research for political corruption, I've discovered a whole lot of things that have alarmed me that, of course, are going in my book. But I also think that the information is important enough that since I won't be able to get my book completed before it's time to go out and vote, perhaps, I want to get the information out to everybody I can. So look at my blogs and you'll see that information. And for example, what I'm getting to, well, first I'll tell you how to get to my blog spot, I guess. You can either go to dcvesser.com, which is my book website, and then go to blogs from there, or you can go directly to the blog spot by typing in dcvesser.blogs.com, and that'll take you to my current blogs. But George Soros is what some people like to call a philanthropist, a Christ-like image. He thinks he's a messianic prophet somehow. Not sure how he gets that idea, but I guess when you have $18 billion in your pocket, you can have
Sure.
just about any kind of thoughts about yourself you want. But George Soros has purchased an organization called Open Society Foundation. And in that Open Society Foundation, I found through my research that they directly support 200 anti-conservative organizations. And they're kind of appalling to even hear about many of them. Of the 200, there's perhaps there's perhaps 25 or 30 of those that donate right to, this is all taxpayer money now, but these organizations, about 25 or 30 of them, donate directly to abortions on demand and paid for by taxpayer dollar. And organizations such as that, I wanted to get those out so you can at least have some information about who the left is and what the left represents. And once again, those are at my blog spot at dcvesser.blogspot.com. And I have a series that I've started on a series of blogs about George Soros. And I've just completed my number 6 in a series. I have no idea how many different series it'll take to get all these out there. Like I said, there are 200, and I'm trying to get as many out as possible every day. But I don't want to put too much out either at one time to
Sure.
perhaps
Absolutely.
deter people from looking at
Right.
the blogs.
Yeah, especially with today, I'd have to say with the amount of information that is published, especially through social media, it can have a negative effect on the way people think, and sometimes an incorrect view on what information is out there. So, you're talking about being able to publish a book, publish information, share information that's probably has or does have a lot more validity to it than those that you see on social media. I mean, we were just having a discussion with my son earlier. He came up and said, "Hey, Dad, what about this?" And I'm like, "Where'd you find that first?" And of course, his answer was like, "Well, social media." People have to understand what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're following, what they're reading before they can make a good decision based on factual information. So I think it's important that you doing what you're doing and being able to get correct information out there to people to make the wise choice.
Well, thanks, Hector. I appreciate those kind words. I do want to say that you can do a lot of fact checking on your own just by knowing the source. And you mentioned social media. And the problem with social media is, like you say, there's so much information out there. And as soon as somebody sees something on the social media network, they want to be the first one to share that with other people before they actually fact check. So when you do your fact checking, check the source, okay, the original source, and do a little background on why they were interested in that subject or that topic. And know one thing for sure, you're going to get skewed social media coverage from our media here in the United States because, well, not because of, specifically because of, but one of the reasons you're going to get skewed information is George Soros owns one of the world's leading media companies. That media company is named Liberty Media. And so it's hard when you have all those people working for someone that wants to give out misinformation. It's hard to find the truth. So you can't always guarantee yourself that, for example, at one time, Snopes was considered the authority when it came time for fact check. Well, now Snopes is owned by George Soros as well. So you kind of got to imagine that the information that is out on Snopes and on Liberty Media is a little bit inclined to be biased by George Soros's influence.
Sure, absolutely. So we're as we get on to social media, the amount of information, obviously that's one way to reach out to your followers as well. And we invite all of you that follow DC Vesser and those that have not to go online. He is online at dcvesser.com. He does have his blog spot out there to check out. It's dcvesser.blogspot.com. You can also find him on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So be sure to follow, like, and share. We're here on YouTube. And as we work out these kinks, as we get started with this whole getting remote information out remotely, the show's going to only get better.
Well, with you in charge of the helm there, I'm sure we'll get there.
I don't know. We'll see, but we'll figure it out on our way. So again, thank you all very much. We appreciate your time. Dave, I'm sure we'll talk soon. Again, be sure to get out to dcvesser.com. Dave, you want to close out with anything?
I have one closure statement, I guess. Thanks for mentioning the books and the dcvesser.com and all that. I do have a stack of books here in my library at home. And if you order, for example, there's other venues to purchase my book through. You can go to Amazon, you can go to Barnes and Noble, you can go to lots of places to find my books. But if you order through my website, which is you first go to dcvesser.com and get onto my homepage and then go to the store there. If you order through there, you'll get a book directly from me and I'll sign that book. There's a little comment section where you enter your information, your street address, home information, credit card information, stuff like that. But it also says leave a message for me. So if you tell me that you would like to have a specific message in your book, just let me know what you want my signature to say. So keep that in mind when you're making your choices on when and where to purchase books from.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you guys next time, and thanks for being patient with us as we bring this live to you from San Antonio and from all the way out in Virginia. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Hector.